God's message through Archangel Michael, July 5th. I order you to open this now, it's an emergency. The identity of this person who wants to harm you is out, here is the name, open immediately. My beloved child, listen with full attention, this is far more than a message, it is your shield, your truth, your wake-up call, wrapped into one divine warning. I, the Lord your God, speak now, through Archangel Michael on this very day, July 5th, to stir the very walls of your soul, and open your eyes, before a moment passes, that cannot be undone. Archangel Michael is not whispering softly this time, his voice roars from the heavens, I order you to open this now, it's an emergency. Someone very near to you, someone whose face you've seen with warmth or even trust, is not who they seem to be. This person has walked beside you, wearing a false face. Their outward kindness masks something far more dangerous. Inside they've held on to a secret so dark, it would rattle your spirit, if I revealed all of it in a single breath. But I won't overwhelm you, I will lead you gently, like a father leads his child. Still, I can no longer stay silent. This is not rumor, not idle speculation, this is your divine path under attack. Your light is so powerful, that darkness has been drawn to dim it. And today, I am pulling back the veil. The one who has tried to harm you, has now been exposed. This message isn't random, you are not here by coincidence. Heaven has chosen this exact moment, for your awakening. Someone close to you, maybe someone who once sat beside you, someone who watched your blessings unfold, who smiled with lips but harbored jealousy behind their eyes, has interfered with the very miracles I've sent your way. The delays you've noticed, the strange energy you've felt in certain rooms, the odd discomfort when checking your phone, it wasn't your mind playing tricks. That was me, trying to get your attention. And now, through my messenger Archangel Michael, who has been guarding you every step, I'm making sure you finally hear the truth, loud and clear. You are wrapped in divine protection, but now your heart must remain open. This is your signal, to pause everything and focus. Look around, reflect on the signs, recall the names that bring unease to your spirit. Think of who changed, when peace began to settle in your life. This is your pivot point. A blazing light from heaven, this midday word is meant just for your soul. You're connected to this message, for a divine reason. If your heart is stirred, then it's your time. Don't treat this message as something to skip past or forget. Subscribe not just with a click, but with faith, with full presence and trust. Because there are more messages coming, revelations, warnings, breakthroughs, and they are only for those, whose hearts are tuned in. Don't miss them. Heaven is calling out to you again and again. And while this won't be the last message, missing this one, could cost you the protection, meant for what's next. So stay alert, stay in tune. I am speaking, are you truly listening? Now my child, let's return to the reason, you were drawn here today. The one whose energy has turned against you, they can't hide behind polite gestures, or charming words anymore. You are shielded completely. But know this, when someone attempts to hurt a child, protected by divine angels, their own intentions turn on them. They begin to lose the very things they sought to take from others. The trap they set for you, they are already caught in it. Still, I ask you to be wise, be mindful. You don't need to attack or even confront them. You don't need revenge, you need clarity. You need to understand the truth about who stands in front of you. What's about to come into your life is sacred restoration, elevation, a breakthrough so powerful that the forces of darkness tremble at the thought of it. That's why they acted. They didn't aim for you, they aimed for what I placed within you. Your promise, your healing, your purpose. But the moment you opened this message, their plan unraveled. Because light always defeats what hides in shadows. And you, my child, have stepped fully into the light. Now Archangel Michael has revealed their name in the spiritual realm. And you already sense who it is, don't you? That name echoing in your thoughts, that's the one. The Holy Spirit doesn't guess, the Spirit confirms. What happens next is in your hands. But as your father, I urge you, do not battle, do not fear. Move forward, eyes clear, heart protected, and your spirit in harmony with me. Because while they were focused on your every move, I was building something around you, they could never comprehend. They can't stop what I've ordained, they can't cancel what's already been blessed. But you must stay connected, stay aligned. From this moment on, remember July 5th, as the day your sight became sharp. The day you stopped letting people get close, simply because they smiled. The day you listened to me, more than to the noise of others. Now breathe in deeply, you are safe, you are covered, you are known. But don't forget this message. Because the next several days will confirm everything I've just said. Watch how peace begins to take over, the moment you remove yourself from that false energy. Watch how clarity arrives, how things finally begin to flow again, once you distance yourself. And when the truth comes forward, and it will, remember who told you first. Because I love you, and I will never allow the enemy to move unchecked. I always send my angels ahead of time, to speak before danger can find a foothold. You are my treasured child, I will not let your destiny be toyed with. And as these words continue, through the voice of Archangel Michael, hear this truth, the person who tried to hurt you, didn't always carry hate. Once long ago, they may have admired you, they may have even rooted for you in silence. But light forces people to choose, to rise into their own brightness, or to resent the one who shines. This individual chose wrong, they let jealousy plant itself deep within. What started as admiration, turned into comparison. When I began to elevate you, not by your doing, but by my will, they couldn't take it. So they started pulling you down, not with harsh words, not with open hostility, but with subtle energy, whispered doubts, small acts meant to divert you. Those closed doors you encountered, the delays that made no sense, the friends who grew cold without cause. Yes, my child, they were influenced by this very person. They didn't press every button, but they were always nearby, when things went sideways. They didn't block your blessings, but they quietly tried to distract you from receiving them. Now that they've been spiritually exposed, their influence is already weakening. They may still act the same, post the same, smile the same, but inside, they're feeling the shift. The shield I've placed around you has been activated. What once came easily to them is now slipping away. That's why you might notice them becoming more restless, stirring drama, trying to provoke a response. Don't take the bait, don't lower yourself to their level. You are no longer walking in their realm, you've entered a higher space. When Archangel Michael releases a warning like this, it means all of heaven has encamped around your name. And your name, child, is no small thing. I've written it in divine places, no human hand can touch. Your purpose cannot be interrupted, your anointing is secure, and your identity is safe in me. You felt the signs, haven't you? The quiet, the solitude, that inner tug to be still, to pull away, to protect your peace. That was my voice, I was preparing you for this exact message. Because greater things are on the horizon. And this person, they can't come with you. If they had stayed close, they would have drained the joy from your next season. Wrapped their fear around your celebrations. Contaminated your gift, before it could even bloom. But now your eyes are wide open, you know, you see, and you are finally free to release them, with no guilt, no regret, and no second guessing. And child, hear me clearly, the reason I allowed this person to remain in your life this long, was not to punish you, it was to teach you. To open your eyes to what couldn't be seen before. So that the next time someone shows you who they are, you believe them the first time. This is your preparation, your rising, your clarity. Now walk forward, with blessings that cannot be stolen or faked. And that's why I had to remove what was never truly for you. I know it felt like loss, I know it felt like betrayal. But child, it was a divine exchange. What left was never meant to grow with you. What stayed hidden had to be uncovered. Because your next season cannot afford hidden enemies or quiet sabotage. You deserve peace that's not shaken by fear, relationships that don't require guessing, and spaces where you can breathe without holding back. So no, this didn't happen to break you, it happened to build you. To teach you how to trust my voice, even when it gets quiet. To sharpen your spirit, so you can recognize energy, even before words are spoken. You are becoming spiritually untouchable, emotionally guarded in grace, and mentally anchored in truth. And though the process was painful, the promise is worth it. Let me remind you, I don't bring people out of darkness, to leave them in confusion. I don't reveal truth, just to leave you wondering what's next. What's next, my child, is the rise. What's next is favor, that doesn't need permission. What's next is peace, that no one can interrupt. I've been preparing this space for you, for a long time, and now that the wrong hands have been removed, I can finally place it in your care. But listen closely, this next level won't come with noise, it'll come with calm. You'll feel it in the stillness of your spirit, that sense that you're no longer forcing anything. That sweet alignment where people show up, who match your frequency. No jealousy, no competition, no hidden motives. Just divine alignment, pure intentions, and mutual honor. That's the reward of spiritual obedience. And child, don't be surprised when the one who tried to discredit you, begins watching you with silent regret. They won't say it, but they'll feel it. They'll feel the weight of what they lost. The energy they spent, trying to distract you, will return to them in exhaustion. And while they deal with that, you will flourish, not to prove anything, but simply because it's your time. Remember what I told you, this is not revenge, this is realignment. You were never behind, you were never forgotten, you were being positioned, quietly, carefully, lovingly. So now when your name enters rooms you've never walked into, you'll be ready. When doors open without knocking, you'll walk through with grace. When offers come that once felt impossible, you'll recognize them as the fruit of what you endured. So don't hold bitterness in your heart. Let forgiveness cleanse you. That doesn't mean you allow access again, it means you free yourself from the weight of their choices. It means you prioritize your peace over explanations. You no longer owe anyone a version of you that bends to be understood. You owe it to yourself to walk fully in your purpose, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Because what I placed in you is rare. That kind of light draws both admiration and attack. But now you know the difference, now you understand that discernment is protection. And this understanding is your armor. It's why your spirit no longer attaches to people, just because they show affection. You now seek consistency, not charm, energy, not effort, truth, not tactics. You're shifting child, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. You've outgrown environments that once held your attention. You've evolved past conversations that once stole your peace. You've matured into someone who no longer fears being alone, because you've learned that solitude is often the space where I whisper the loudest. And in that quiet, I've been preparing you for the very thing they said you'd never have. You will no longer entertain empty connections. You will no longer tolerate half-hearted love. You will no longer water relationships that don't grow with you. That season is done, the test is passed, the veil is lifted. And what's ahead is clarity like never before. Over the next few days, you will start to notice how your spirit reacts differently. What used to draw you in will now push you away. You'll feel it in your chest, in your dreams, in your reactions. Your soul has learned, you've been elevated, and your life will begin to reflect it. You may lose more along the way, but don't mourn what I remove. Celebrate what I'm making room for. The kind of people who will celebrate your wins, without envy. The kind of love that doesn't come with conditions. The kind of peace that feels like home. That's what I'm bringing. So stand tall now, child. You are not the same person you were before this storm. You are wiser, stronger, sharper, and ready for the table I've prepared. They tried to block the invitation, but they couldn't cancel the event. You're still going, you're still rising, and you're about to be surrounded by proof. Proof that I was listening when you cried in silence. Proof that I took note of every betrayal. Proof that I held your heart, even when it broke. And now that same heart will beat with joy again. The heaviness is lifting, the confusion is clearing, the way is opening. And you, my chosen one, will walk through it, fully aware, completely healed, and finally free. Now breathe, not just with your lungs, but with your soul. Feel the weight leaving, feel the shift coming. You are no longer standing in the middle of the storm, you are stepping out of it, into light, into clarity, into destiny. And you won't have to prove anything to anyone. Your peace will speak louder than your past. Your progress will silence every doubt. Your presence will shift atmospheres. And your story will inspire others to believe again. So remember this moment, mark it, hold it. Because this isn't just another message, it's your new beginning. The chapter where you walk in your fullness, without apology. The part of the story, where the pain turns into power. And every tear you shed, becomes a seed, for what's about to bloom. This is what freedom feels like, this is what divine timing looks like, and this is what it means to be chosen for real. No pretending, no performance. Just purpose, just alignment, just grace, overflowing, undeniable, heaven-sent grace. Even if some days the healing feels like breaking all over again. I see you, I know, and I'm still here holding you through it, speaking peace over your mind, when the memories rush in without warning. I am steady when your emotions are not, I am stable when your thoughts try to spiral, I am the calm in your chaos, the answer in your ache, the promise in your process. Let your soul breathe now. Let your shoulders relax. Let the armor fall for a moment, because this space is sacred. You don't have to be strong here, you don't have to hold it all together in my presence. This is where I refill you, this is where I restore, what life tried to strip away. You've carried burdens for too long, that were never yours to carry. You've worried about outcomes, that I already resolved. You've wrestled with guilt, that I never assigned to you. Release it now, release the blame, release the fear, release the need to control, how people see you. Because what I'm doing in you, is so much deeper than appearances. I'm building a foundation, that no storm can shake. I'm creating strength, that doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. I'm planting peace so deeply, that no external chaos can uproot it. This is what becoming truly free feels like. It's not always loud, sometimes it feels like stillness, like solitude, like silence, that doesn't feel empty, but full of my presence. You've matured, you've grown. And now your spirit is reaching for higher things. You're no longer attracted to drama. You no longer crave validation, from those who mishandled you. You're not interested in proving yourself, to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. That's growth, that's healing, that's me. So don't be surprised if certain people fade. Don't be shocked when the invitations stop, when the calls grow fewer, when the circle tightens. That's not rejection, that's refinement. I'm clearing space, because the next connections will be divine. The next relationships will be purpose-filled. The next conversations will nourish your spirit, not drain it. You've cried enough over who left, now prepare to rejoice, over who I'm sending. And yes, they will come. Not just friends, but kingdom connections. Not just support, but supernatural covering. Not just love, but love that honors, respects, and protects. You won't have to question if they're from me, your spirit will know. Their presence will feel like peace, their words will echo mine, their actions will match their intentions. And you'll feel safe to be your full self, no masks, no shrinking, no pretending. Because I'm calling you into authenticity now. No more performing, no more blending in, just to be accepted. No more shrinking your voice, so others can feel comfortable in their dysfunction. Your light was never meant to be dimmed, your gifts were never meant to be hidden. You were not created to fit into broken spaces, you were created to shift atmospheres, and that is exactly what you're about to do. There are doors opening soon, that will require you to walk boldly, not perfectly, but boldly. Walk in knowing that you are sent, that you are backed by heaven, that you don't need everyone to agree with your journey. You only need to keep following my voice. Let them talk, let them question, let them guess, you just keep walking. Because as you walk, I will align the path, as you obey, I will provide, as you release what's not yours, I will multiply what is. And this time the blessing won't feel heavy, this time the opportunity won't bring anxiety, this time you won't have to sacrifice your peace, to keep what I give. Because this time it's me, not a counterfeit, not a distraction, me. So don't panic, when I remove what you thought was permanent. Don't resist, when I close a door, that you kept knocking on. Trust me when I say, I only close doors, that would have delayed your destiny. I only remove people, who would have poisoned your promise, I only allow endings, that lead to better beginnings. And this new beginning is unlike anything you've ever known. You're not going backwards, not emotionally, not spiritually, not relationally. You're not who you were, even 6 months ago. You've been stretched, you've been refined, you've been broken open, so that my glory could pour through you. And now the version of you that's emerging, is stronger, wiser, more discerning. You're walking with a healed limp, and that limp is proof, that you survived what tried to destroy you. So lift your head, child, wipe your eyes. The mourning season is over. The oil of joy is being poured out. The garment of praise is replacing the spirit of heaviness. And your life is about to reflect the promise that's been hovering over you since before you were born. You are not forgotten, you are not behind, you are right on time for what I'm about to do. All those moments that felt wasted, they're about to make sense. All those nights you questioned your worth, they're about to be answered with favor. All those days you wanted to give up, they're about to be redeemed with reward. Because I never stopped watching, I never stopped working, I never stopped walking with you. Even when you doubted me, I didn't let go. Even when you wandered, I protected you. Even when you questioned everything, I whispered truth back into your soul. And now the whisper becomes a roar. Now the quiet becomes clarity. Now the waiting turns into walking. So get ready. The days ahead will require your full attention. New ideas will spark, new people will enter, new doors will open. And I don't want you distracted by what's behind. I don't want you checking old messages, or replaying old conversations. I don't want you worrying, if they'll ever apologize, or if they'll ever understand. That's not your assignment is forward, your calling is higher, your purpose is now. Keep your eyes on me, keep your heart open, keep your hands lifted. Because the next 7 days will be filled with divine interruptions, moments where my presence enters, suddenly, unexpectedly, powerfully. Stay sensitive, stay aligned, stay thankful. Even if you don't see it all yet, praise me anyway. Praise is the weapon that prepares your blessing. Worship is the sound that summons angels. Gratitude is the key that unlocks even greater favor. And oh, how favored you are. Even when you didn't feel it, even when you didn't see it, even when it looked like others were winning, while you waited. I was storing up a portion, so great, it would silence every doubt. And now it's time. Time to rise, time to receive, time to release the fear, time to walk in joy. You didn't go through all of that to stay the same. You didn't survive just to play small. You didn't endure betrayal, isolation, loss and heartbreak just to question your value. No, my beloved, you endured it so I could show you who you really are. Something eternal, something the enemy could sense but couldn't stop. Every attack wasn't about what you did wrong, it was about what you carry. It was a distraction to blind you from the truth, that you were stepping into a level of authority that darkness feared. That's why the pressure increased, that's why the betrayal cut so deep, that's why the loneliness felt unbearable at times, because your spirit was outgrowing the place that pain once held. You weren't just healing, you were being redefined. You see, child, transformation doesn't always look like celebration. Sometimes it looks like isolation, like loss, like silence. But in that silence, I was reconstructing your destiny. In that stillness, I was expanding your capacity. You weren't being punished, you were being preserved. I had to take you through what felt like the valley, so I could raise you on a mountain, with vision, not just victory. I didn't just want you to win, I wanted you to understand why you were chosen to carry this weight, this calling, this light. Now take a look around. The dust is beginning to settle, the fog is lifting, the pain is losing its grip. And what remains is the truest version of you, not broken, not bitter, but battle-tested and blessed. You are no longer just surviving spiritual warfare, you're stepping into spiritual wisdom. You now know what peace costs, and you're no longer afraid to protect it. You now understand the price of discernment, and you won't apologize for using it. You no longer need validation to believe you're worthy. You know now, deeply, fully, and undeniably, that my hand is on your life. And listen to this, beloved, the healing you're walking through isn't just for you. It's generational, the strength you're building is becoming a shield for those who will follow. The clarity you're gaining is going to unlock doors, for others who've been stuck. The light you're carrying will break chains you never even knew existed in your family line. You're not just walking into restoration, you're carrying it with you. You are becoming a vessel for breakthrough, a living answer to someone's hidden prayer, a lighthouse to those still in the storm. So don't shrink when the blessing shows up. Don't sabotage it with doubt. Don't second-guess the goodness coming your way. It's not too good to be true, it's what I promised, it's what I've been preparing you for. The love that's coming, it won't confuse you. The opportunity that's coming, it won't exhaust you. The doors I'm about to open, they won't require you to shrink, pretend, or perform. They will recognize your authenticity and honor it. I am restoring everything they tried to steal, your voice, your confidence, your joy. You are no longer chasing healing, you are carrying it. You're no longer proving your worth, you are embodying it. You're no longer asking why me, you are declaring it had to be me, because no one else could have gone through what you did, and still kept their heart soft. No one else could have faced that much betrayal, and still kept their spirit pure. That's why I chose you, not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful. Because you trusted me, even when you didn't understand me. Because you kept showing up, even when you didn't feel strong. And now I am releasing new oil over your life, oil of gladness, oil of wisdom, oil of discernment. You will walk into this next season with ease. You will speak, and your words will carry weight. You will rest, and your sleep will be deep and undisturbed. You will laugh again, not the polite laughter that hides pain, but the kind that bubbles up from joy you can't explain. You will look back on this past season, not with bitterness, but with awe. Not because it didn't hurt, but because it couldn't stop you. It refined you, it reintroduced you to yourself, it brought you back to me. So walk forward now, with shoulders lifted and eyes clear. You're not waiting for the miracle anymore, you are the miracle. You're not seeking permission to live in peace, you're already living in it. And every step you take from this point on, is a declaration to hell that it lost, a proclamation to heaven that you made it, and a reminder to yourself that grace carried you. They'll wonder how you're still standing, they'll question how you kept your light, they'll be confused by your peace, amazed by your progress. But you'll know the answer. You'll know that it wasn't your own strength, it was your surrender. It wasn't that you had it all figured out, it was that you let me in, when everything fell apart. And now, child, everything is falling together. Stay soft, stay steady, stay surrendered. Your story is sacred, your future is secure, and your name, it's already written in places your feet haven't even touched yet. Keep going, we're not done, we're just getting started. And when you hold it in your hands, I want you to pause and realize this, it's not just a letter. It's a full circle. It's the proof that what felt delayed, was really being designed. That what felt forgotten, was only being refined. That what felt like silence, was the groundwork for sacred restoration. And now everything you thought was over, is opening back up again, wider, deeper, richer, than you ever imagined. You will read words that were prayed over, cried over, wrestled with, and finally released. And in that release, you'll feel something sacred settle in your spirit. Peace, peace that passes understanding, peace that doesn't ask for permission, peace that declares, it's safe to love again, it's safe to trust again, it's safe to receive again. Because I'm not just restoring what you lost, I'm revealing what was always meant for you. Not through pressure, not through pain, but through promise. Promise that is not held together, by the fragile hands of man, but by the eternal grip of your God. I never let go of what's mine, and child, you've always been mine. You will soon walk into rooms that feel like home, even if you've never stepped foot in them before. You'll hear your name spoken with reverence, and not resistance. You'll meet eyes that don't look past you, but truly see you. And in those sacred moments, you'll remember that I am a God of details. That I don't just restore time, I redeem it, I use every second for your good, even the ones you cried through, especially those. And as your life begins to align, with the beauty I always had planned, I want you to let go of the guilt. The guilt of how long it took, the guilt of how much you doubted, the guilt of how often you gave up on yourself. I don't hold any of that against you, I never did. All I see is your courage to stand again, all I hear is your yes, even if it came through tears. This next season is not about trying harder, it's about trusting deeper. Trusting that the same God who sustained you, will now elevate you. The same voice that comforted you, will now call you forward. The same grace that held you in heartbreak, will now guide you into healing. And child, it won't be subtle, it will be evident, it will be obvious, it will be loud with glory. Because the wilderness season is closing, the clarity is coming, the doors are opening. And you are not walking through them alone, I'm with you, always have been, always will be. And with every step you take, heaven is applauding, angels are rejoicing, destiny is unfolding. You don't need to know how it all works, you only need to know, it's working for your good, for your growth, for your glory. So rest now, not like someone who's barely surviving, but like someone who finally understands, they were never alone. You've been surrounded the whole time, guarded, chosen, held, and now commissioned. To rise, to receive, to rejoice. This moment right here is holy, this love is sacred, and this confirmation, it's divine. The pain had a purpose, the silence had a sound, and the waiting was never wasted. This was all for you, and now the fullness of what I promised, is about to touch your life, in a way that leaves no doubt. You are chosen, you are called, you are crowned. Amen.